Hey, Torch Moms. We're back with another episode on the Torch Mom podcast. Tonight, we have Tahine, a Torch mom taking on risk and crushing hate daily. Hey, Tahine, how are you?
Hi, how's it going? Good to be here.
Yes, everything is going great on my end. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Yes. Also, I just wanted to let you know that my name has a couple of syllables. It's pronounced Thandiwe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Thandiwe.
Yes, that's how you say it.
I like that. I like
Thank
that. That's
you.
my mistake. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Give it to
Yes.
me
Don't
one
worry.
more time so I can keep it correct throughout this show.
Yes. So you can call me Thandiwe, but most people do call me Tandy for short. So it's you can kind of pick or choose. It's a South African name. My father's South African, so he gave it to me.
Oh, okay. Super cool. I love it. Super cool. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go with Tondi. Is that cool with
Yeah.
you?
Yes, that's perfect.
All right. So we're going to work with that. So are you ready to get this torch talk started?
Yes, I'm excited. This is my very first podcast that I've ever participated in. So I could say I've popped my podcast cherry. So let's bring it on.
Yes. All right. Well, my first question for you is what aspects of your upbringing and surroundings do you believe have shaped your identity and values as a powerful mother?
That's a good one. So my parents have actually been together for 33 years. I've grown up in the same house. My parents have lived in the same house for over 30 years. I have a brother and sister, and we grew up kind of like the same exact background. So they've definitely like taught me and instilled the values of family first. Um, my father is first. We're actually first generation Americans. My dad is South Africa, so he came straight from South Africa. My mom doesn't really have like a strong family background either, so they kind of created like their own hut in Largo, Maryland. That
Mhm.
I'm very blessed
Mhm.
to, not a lot of people can say like, oh, my parents are still together, or oh, that's the house I grew up in. And so I definitely take that, to heart, So that's definitely something that I would love
Mhm.
to instill on my kids and my family, show them the importance of family, show them the importance of what a family community looks like, we also, my father's deaf.
Mhm.
We all grew up speaking
Mhm.
sign language in my house. So that was another way that, kind of kept us connected. We were the only people who kind of like knew sign language in like amongst our friend group. So that kind of really like kept us a unit. So
Super cool.
hmm
Wow. That's dope. Okay. Same household together for 30 years. Oh my goodness. And it's a strong community. That's powerful to have and to hold that family together,
yeah,
Mm, I love
yeah.
it.
And I've definitely, I can't say that every family is perfect. Every family does have, their moments of time. I wasn't like the easiest child growing up. So they definitely had to like,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
definitely took me like a while to even appreciate like certain aspects. Like it took me a while to even like appreciate my mom, on my own mother, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought that she was always on me. I
Mhm.
always felt like the black sheep in the family. Like my family can kind of be a little kind of like have been compared to the the Huxtable. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and I kind of like have always stood out. And so that also looks like, amongst my family members. I didn't really like follow the
Mhm.
rules. I didn't really like You know what I'm saying? And every family does have that black sheep. Every
Yeah.
family does have like, I was the queer one. I was, always I was the queer witchy one. Every family has one. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
they've definitely
I
supported me.
can
They
definitely understand. Trust me.
But I am blessed to also have their support. They've never ever tried to change me. They've never ever told me that, how I was living was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I appreciate because a lot of people, a lot of queer people don't have that within their families, especially black families. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that, family ties with us. I love it. Thank you. I want to ask another question about motherhood for you. Can you tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about your journey?
Yes. So I definitely had a different kind of experience. Well, to me, I've had to learn like all pregnancies are different. I feel like you kind of grow up thinking like, oh, textbook tells you you have 9 months to develop a baby, and I had my son, Kashir, 3 months early, and at that time that was like the craziest thing in the whole wide world, of course. But within that time frame, I was
Mhm.
meeting mothers who are also having like very intense pregnancy experiences. Like it was actually more common to hear like a kind of like a traumatic birth story versus having like hearing normal story, what we could perceive to be normal. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mhm.
so it was
Mhm.
actually like,
Mhm.
so for my situation, I'm very blessed. My son, he made it through. Um, Heart surgery when he was a couple days old. He's had laser eye surgery, couple months old. He's had a hernia. You know what I'm saying? He's had about 3 surgeries. We were in the NICU for about 6 months. 6 months we lived in the NICU. So
Okay.
theoretically, he's only been home with us for about 7 to 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So even though he just turned one.
Wow.
Um, but one
Mhm.
thing that really got me
Mhm.
through that moment is knowing that I wasn't alone, knowing that there's so many mothers who have different stories to tell. Not one birth story was ever the same. Even in the NICU, like there are so many mothers who were there for different reasons. Like childbirth is crazy. Childbirth is crazy, and giving birth is
Mhm.
literally a
Mhm.
journey.
Mhm.
It is literally one of the hardest journeys that women can go through, and we just survive that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, but I do have another
I definitely agree.
my other surprise is that I'm actually expecting right now. I'm about 6 weeks pregnant already, and I just found out.
Oh my goodness.
And your girl,
Congratulations.
thank you. We just found out last week, so surprise.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
That's a
giving two.
big surprise.
It's giving 2 under 2. I'm sure you've heard those stories.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm super happy for you. I can definitely relate. I had my beautiful daughter at 30 weeks.
Mm,
I had my time in the NICU with her as
mm.
well. So I can definitely understand, and you are super strong, and I'm glad that you have him home, and I know how enjoyable that can be. Once you step out of those doors with your baby.
Yes,
So that
yes.
is super dope. And congratulations again on number two.
I know. We think it's a girl, so we think it's a girl this time. The
Okay, that's what we're going with then.
fingers. Mhm.
Yes, I love your teacup, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I like yours too.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's jump into this next question. As a model, actress, and burlesque dancer, how did you navigate your career during pregnancy?
Oh, that was very easy. The show, pregnancy never stopped the show. I was literally, I have like pictures of me being pregnant on stage. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really get a chance to show that much as I wanted to. I didn't get to have like the whole maternity pictures. I didn't get to really have, a lot of things that I was looking forward to. But one of those things was like a big belly. So, at 6 months, I think I just started to pop. So I was able to like still perform, still dance, still, go about my regular routine for a while, still hula hoop. I was still hula hooping pregnant. And I wouldn't say, I don't think that really
Yeah.
affected anything. I feel like that kind of like, being in shape kind of like helped me a little bit. Um, But yeah, being
Mhm,
pregnant did
mhm.
not stop the show. Even now, having a 1 year old, he has grandparents who can't wait for him to come over on the weekends. So yeah, I'm still performing. I'm still getting booked. I might slow down this time around with my second child because my body has gone through a lot, and I
Okay.
think I'm really pushing it. Honestly, trying to carry this baby after 13, 14 months.
Mhm,
So we'll see. I'm
mhm.
thinking very,
Yeah.
very, yeah, thinking very positive. But I think
Well, I am wishing you, yeah, I am wishing you nothing but positivity.
now I think performing it might get a little bit tricky with two kids. We'll see how that goes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
because their grandparents have been, like their grandparents, his grandparents have been used to one kid. Let's see how they do with two kids.
Right. Right. Let's see how you gonna work that up in there, right?
Right. So
I can't wait to hear about that. Wow, they're gonna fall in love with that baby. That baby
yeah.
girl is gonna brighten their eyes up. They are going to be so joyful to have her.
Trust me, I am nervous to tell them. I have not told my parents yet. I'm nervous. I kind of just wanted them to like kind of. They're still taking in my son. Like I said, my son is 1 year old, but he's only really been in my family like for about 7, 8 months. So he's still very new. I still kind of want like everyone to like just show him so much more attention. But I have another baby back to back on the way, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It'll align. It'll fall right into place for you. It's gonna be dope. It'll align.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thank
I
you.
definitely think so. You are a torch mom. You better do that. You better do that. I'm loving it. Congratulations again, man. Congratulations. You are killing it.
Thank you. I'm
That's different
trying.
for me to, hear and everything. And I'm thankful that you're still strong to come back around and have another baby, even though your first experience was different.
Yeah. And I'm still nervous. I still like every
Hmm.
5 minutes, I'm kind of like, I have like a cramp. I hope I don't have, I'm thinking the worst. Like, what if I'm gonna have a miscarriage? Like, I'm not really always thinking this positive. Sometimes my thoughts can get really dark um, because of my
Hmm.
experience.
Hmm.
So, I haven't gone to like the
Yeah.
doctors yet. I have an appointment next week. So I'll get more information, but yeah, I can't really say that,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I'm so excited when I'm really nervous as fuck.
Yeah. 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 I definitely get it. I definitely get it. Well, you fight as much as you can to stay positive, and I'll definitely keep you in my prayers,
Thank
you
you.
know, for your appointment and throughout your pregnancy. And like I said, I feel like it'll be definitely wonderful for you. And I hope for the best.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
What are some of the most memorable and heartwarming moments you've experienced as a mother so far?
Oh my gosh. It's honestly like the little things. Um, because technically I one of the interesting things about having a baby in the NICU, having a baby premature, is that you kind of like observe them. It starts in the hospital, they're like in the incubator, you're like physically watching them grow. So that kind of mentality cause kind of
Mhm.
like stuck with me because we're still in therapies 3 times a week actually. um so there's always like a professional. It's like we're always like kind of like looking at my son professionally, sometimes from like kind of like a different perspective than like
Okay.
then I guess I feel like, like
Mhm.
if you were just at home with your baby without like kind of outside influences, you know what I mean? Um, so everything that he does is like amazing.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
like the day that he first was able to sit by himself, the day that he was his one of his teeth popped. He's got like 8 teeth in his mouth. It's just so like everything that he does, I can just like see his growth every day. He's like literally a sponge. And sometimes I'm like, I don't do that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm grateful that he can literally explore. Um,
Do.
don't worry, I have
Mhm.
to. A lot
Yeah.
of times, but yeah, watching him physically grow. And,
Mhm. Yes. Um, can you share any valuable lessons or insights you've gained about parenting that you believe other mothers, regardless of their lifestyles, can benefit from?
you don't have to change if you don't want to change. I know motherhood, there's a sense of responsibility that you get, and there is a change within you. But a lot of times I feel like, people think that you have to become this Stepford wife. If you're not like a Stepford wife, then you don't have to work, you don't have to build up on this type of unrealistic expectation of motherhood because that's not real. That's not real. I still wear the same clothes. I still listen to the same music.
Yeah.
I still connect
Mhm.
with the same friends. You know what I'm saying? So my life didn't have to completely change now that I became a mother. I just had to, be a mother as well. So that's definitely my word of advice. Stay true to yourself. You don't have to change. You don't have to change to be a better mom. You just have to be a better mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with our listeners. That is very valuable, and a lot of people really need to receive that. And I hope that they do.
Yes.
What does torch mom mean to you?
Torch mom, that fire. Torch mom definitely has a energy to it. When I it's a energetic mom. It's a spicy mom. It's a fiery mom. It's a mom that's got oomph to her. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
Mhm.
It seems like it's a
Mhm.
collective, and like other torch moms need to know who these other torch moms are. Um, Building community with other torch moms.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Your view is amazing on that. What inspired you? Because I want to know this. What inspired you to create the Queer Mom social platform?
Okay, so that's one. So when I first, so with Kashir, that wasn't actually see. My first pregnancy was actually in 2019. I'm sorry. Um, I had an
Okay.
abortion. It was my first time having an abortion. But before I did have an abortion, I really was considering having my baby at the time. Now, my reasons for
Okay.
not having the baby at the time were almost a little bit more vain than, other reasons. I have just began my burlesque career. I know how like my body change was going to affect what I was doing in life, and I actually just lost 40 pounds. I wasn't, interested in gaining my weight back. You know what I'm saying? There was different reasons why I didn't have my first baby, that first
Mhm.
child. Um, and women, it doesn't matter what your reasons are. If
Mhm.
it's not, if
Mhm.
it's not the right time for you, then honor that. And so I'm glad that I did honor that within myself, even if my
Yes.
reasons, you know, aren't up to par to some other people's reasons. Um, but
Mhm. Mhm.
I have been a part of the LGBT community since I was 16. So, I was also a little shy coming out as like bisexual. Like, here I am having relations with this man. I wasn't even ready to even like announce that or present that side of myself, honestly, because I was very well known in the lesbian community.
Mhm.
I was, I hosted events. I was at all the
Mhm.
events.
Mhm.
A lot of people in the lesbian community could say that they knew who I was. So that it took me a while to actually, you know, kind of own up to being bisexual, even though I do identify as queer, and I've always been queer. I like what I like, and there's no shame in that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but when I first became pregnant, I was like, okay, where are the queer moms? Where are the moms that look like me? Where are the moms that like women and have babies? That's what I wanted. That's who I needed at that time. And so I
Mhm.
had to create my own Facebook group and
Mhm.
like I had to collect those mothers and have a collection of them, and just so I know what that looks like. And it's a community
Yeah.
that I've been growing ever since to this day. Um, about 4 years, four
Mhm.
couple years later, that group, I never deleted that group. I just kind of revived it this last year. So it just kind of grew and it just kind of took off. And so I'm glad that other people kind of see that
Mhm.
need too, because
Mhm.
like I said, motherhood can look so many different ways. Um, but what I really needed was some queer moms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. You gave them some room. And then,
Yeah,
you created a space for you so you could actually resonate with too. Because those societal norms and then having to deal with other people's judgment when it has nothing to do with them is just so weird,
yeah,
So you skipped all of that, and made it comfortable for yourself. And I love it.
I did, I did, and it's growing every day. More and more moms are um
Yeah, because I
joining.
definitely follow the queer mom on Facebook.
Yeah, now I have an Instagram page, but it originally started as a
Yeah.
Facebook group. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. So then you did your Instagram after your Facebook.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mhm. Also to kind of document, I was having so many different experiences.
Okay.
I had to document my NICU journey somehow. It kind of, that page just kind of became like what motherhood is looking like for me right now. So
So you shared that with other moms who definitely possibly needed that, so they wouldn't feel alone too.
yeah.
That was amazing to create a space like that, a safe space like that.
Yeah. Thank you. Mhm.
Dope. So, your work with cannabis, karma, life lux is intriguing. Do I have that right?
Yes. So actually, Life Lexi is the name of the store. We have a whole storefront. Cannabis Karma is more of like the event aspect of it. It's more of so Life Lexi is actually a store on Georgia or off of Georgia Avenue on Upshur Street. And it's mainly a cannabis education store, cannabis inclusive. You can find anything cannabis in there. You can find actual flour, seeds. You can find jewelry, accessory, clothes. You find, just anything pertaining to cannabis culture. Um, but if you're looking for like our event aspect, we host workshops, we host different events. That's the Cannabis Karma side. So it's the same entity. Just my boss kind of created it like that. So but I do work for a Black owned, female operated. My CEO is a veteran. Um, Cannabis, I've been working for 6 years, going on 7 now. So I've taught kids
Amazing.
education.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've taught cannabis education. I'm certified hemp staff trained, so I'm like certified to work in dispensaries. So that's kind of where my performance name Ganja Kitty comes from. I'm a big
Okay.
ganja enthusiast. Reasons.
Okay. Okay. Super dope, super spicy. I love it. How does your involvement in the cannabis industry intersect with your identity as a mother? And how do you balance these roles?
Oh, that's simple. So times because my job very specifically is it attracts all types of women. It attracts people who want to support Black owned businesses. It attracts people who want to support women created businesses. So a lot of times our customers are moms. Are a lot of time our customers are moms, and a lot of time they want to use cannabis for anything, for their aches and their pains, for their anxiety, for their cramps, for just to at night, just to sleep. And so I feel like there is sorry, my necklace is off. I feel like there is more and more research that is being presented that this is not harmful for the motherhood experience. Especially the way that we view like other substances like alcohol or even tobacco, you know what I mean? Cannabis very healing. I personally used cannabis throughout my first pregnancy. Um, I had to alter the way that I was consuming it. I wasn't consuming it all the time. I was consuming it to relieve my nausea. I personally am a backwoods
Mhm.
smoker. I stopped smoking backwoods, you know what I'm saying? So I had to alter my cannabis intake in the way that I was using it. But it definitely
Mhm.
got me my entire pregnancy.
Mhm.
And I will recommend it to other moms.
Mhm.
However,
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
it's
And like,
I always just say trust yourself. If this feels right to you, if it doesn't feel right to you, honor that.
mhm. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. It's definitely healing, and you use it for the right reasons, not just using it just to be using it, you know? And that's my reasonings as well. Like, I have my reasons and it works for me. And it's very serious for me,
Yeah.
like, I'm not just out here just wanting to do it and stand on the street and be cool about it. It's actually helping me.
Yeah.
So I thank
And
you
there are
so much.
actual
And you
herbs
guys,
that can be more during pregnancy than cannabis.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. You need to definitely know your strains and everything. Know what it works for, especially during menstrual times for me and my wife. We definitely have to choose the right strains for those purposes.
Exactly. So, and that's also the fun part of it. That's like really like as a mental healing tool,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
is what I like to teach.
Love it. Well, at least I know who to come get some info from. Thank you guys. And because I
Yeah,
didn't even know, all of that was going
excited.
on. That's super dope.
Yeah. I definitely
Yeah,
have never been to. So, for example, this Saturday I will be working in the store. You can catch me in the store. We host a brunch. Experiences, what we call happens once every month, the last Saturday of the month. And you get
okay.
infused chicken and waffles, you get infused sweet tea, you get unlimited joints, you get, it's a really nice experience. There's a patio you can enjoy, weed art everywhere. So
Oh,
this
wow.
Saturday, or can't make it this month, there's always next month, but definitely
Okay.
recommend everyone check it out.
Yes. And I will definitely make sure that me and my wife come check it out and post and, so others can know about it too from our side. What role does self care play in your life as a mother, and how do you find time for it amidst your busy schedule?
Mm. So that is a good one. First of all, I'm a Cancer, and we love self care.
Okay.
Like self care is our game, and it's a little bit harder to do the same things that I normally do, like get my toes done because I have a baby. I don't want to bring him into the nail salon. You know what I'm saying? So I have to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like do things myself, which I don't mind doing. But self care can look like lighting a candle, sipping some tea, listening to some music, putting on a face mask, lighting some, and all of that like is self care for me too. You know what I mean? Taking
Mm-hmm.
time to myself
Mm-hmm.
when he's or doing things that I need to be doing when he's asleep that I know that I can't do when he's awake. That's self care. That's getting my shit together. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's I really am about the soft girl care era. I really support that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Yes, get that self care time in, especially when he is down. That's all your time there. Soak it up.
Yes, yes. And luckily, he's a pretty good napper. He's
Shoot.
a pretty good sleeper. I don't really have no issues with him.
Okay. Good. Good. Yay. What advice do you have for mothers who may be interested in pursuing careers in unconventional fields like yours?
Do it. So, one thing about me is that I actually started a new career as a crisis counselor. So, I have like my big
Mm-hmm.
girl job too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would work from home, and I kind of have like easy hours that are for me. If you have a side hustle, or if you have something that you can do that you can monetize from it, do it, because I still do hair on the side. I still make waist beads. I still um, perform burlesque. I kind of like made money from doing things that I love, so it doesn't feel like I have job. It just makes me feel like I am aligned with my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Amazing.
it's
Amazing.
very fulfilling. So I would just say, like, don't stop doing the things that you love to do, especially if you can make money from it, because we are mothers. We have like mouths to feed, and we should be able
Mhm.
to at this age too. We should be able to kind of benefit from the things that we do well. Like I do this very well. Pay me for that too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I agree. Dropping gems. Thank you so much. So now it's time for the spicy side of Torch Talk. Before we dive
Okay.
into these thought provoking questions about relationships and intimacy, I want to remind everyone that this podcast aims to foster open and honest conversations. Our guest today has kindly agreed to discuss these intimate topics, and we appreciate their willingness to share their insights. Please note that discussing sensitive subjects requires mutual respect and consent. So we've created a comfortable and safe space for our conversation. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, remember that you have the option to skip questions or choose not to answer. With that said, let's explore these important aspects of personal growth and relationships.
Okay. All
So, my
right.
first question for you is do you find yourself more dominant or submissive during sex?
That definitely depends with I want to say kind of with the person that I'm with, but also the mood that I am. I could kind of consider
Okay.
myself versatile. Yeah, I'm pretty much averse. I could be top or bottom.
Okay. Okay. Love it. Has your body image and self esteem changed since becoming a mother? I'm guessing no. And how does it impact your desires and passions?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because when it comes to motherhood, like your body just changes regardless. I'll turn around, I'm like, my boobs are so big, or like my stomach, isn't as flat as it used to be. Like my thighs, I can't even fit jeans, so my body has gone through its changes. I try to be generous with
Yeah.
myself. I try to treat myself with grace. But every woman has their like sucking in moments. So, but it hasn't really, it hasn't really affected my sex life. I don't think, considering I got baby number two on the
Okay.
way.
Okay.
But
Okay. How would you respond if a couple approached you to be their third?
well, at this time in my life, my man is not gonna go for that. But there was a time in my life where I have been somebody's third.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I did the whole poly queer thing in my day.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing. Our last question for you is how do you think societal expectations impact our sex lives and relationships?
I feel like society is always looking for someone to be the boy, someone to be the girl. I mean, that's I feel like that's a big one. Society is always trying to like place gender roles even in queer relationships. And now I understand how in relationships there's usually a leader, there's usually a follower, or there's usually a dominant, there's usually a submissive, but I feel like our society is always trying to gender that. Maybe the femme is more aggressive than the dom, and that dynamic exists. Or,
Yes.
maybe the dom is a little bit softer and wants to be controlled. That's a dynamic that exists. I feel like, especially in lesbian relationships, everyone expects the stud to lead or the femme to submit, and that's not always the case. That's not always what people like. So that's a big one for me.
Mm. Well, well, I appreciate you participating in our spicy side of Torch Talk. Is there anything
Spicy.
else you'd like to share with our audience? Or is there anyone you'd like to give flowers to before we close out?
Yes, so actually this weekend I will, because we're talking about spice, this weekend I will be working and participating at the Ho Hives Halloween for the hoes. Halloween event, and that is going to be at the Crucible, which is DC's one and only um, kink fetish dungeon, if you will. If you've never been to the Crucible,
Hmm.
this Friday is definitely going to be the time to go. And I definitely will recommend that you wear your costumes, wear your sexy costumes, um, and it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a vibe. You can, if you're looking for tickets, you can always go on the Whole
Okay.
Hive on Instagram, and you can. I want to shout out Brooke J
Mhm.
for producing such an amazing community of hoes.
Okay.
HAUX. That's a production company that I've also been working with for a very long time, the Ho Hive, and they're known for it's black and queer
Mhm.
operated, but it's an event for all. But they host events monthly at the Crucible. So if you, it's usually like performances, kind of the first half, and then the second half is a play party. So if you're looking for like that type of experience, you should definitely get your ticket.
All right. I love it. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to look into that. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. And you guys make sure you follow her on Instagram, Queer Mom, 4 E's,
Yes.
and you'll find her there. And you can
Yeah.
also find her on Facebook. So make sure you join, follow, support, share your stories, let them know what you're going through because you're not alone. We're Torch Moms, we're always linked together.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This is very nice.
You are most welcome. Thank you again for taking the time and giving us the opportunity to share space with you. We really appreciate your energy. Negativity is forbidden and energy is power. Didn't have a backstage pass to check out the live stream? It'll be available for viewing on our YouTube channel, the Torch Mom Podcast. So be sure to subscribe, like, and share. If you have experiences or questions to share, send us an email to the torchmompodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at the Torch Mom Podcast. Remember, what you desire, you already have. We love you. Stay